Okay, I think it works. Are we live? Hello, consciously created motherhood. Come join us. We're so excited to be with you this morning. And I'm usually not on this early, but Amy is an East Coaster. Well, she's farther east than I am. So so excited to be joining you and bringing you just another story of miraculous change, growth, transformation, all of those things. And I want to introduce you to Amy. Other side, it flipped me. There's this is Amy J, and I'm just so honored to have her in here to share her story with you of overcoming some hard things in our work together. Amy is a client of mine and in Awakened Motherhood, and I'd love to have you introduce yourself. Amy, do you want to say just give the ladies a little picture of you and your family, so
Brilliant.
we can get to know you a little bit?
Great. Yep, I'm on the East Coast. I'm here in North Carolina. Married 12 years this October. I have three awesome kids. I have a 7-year-old who's currently in school finally. Yay.
Yes.
A 5-year-old who's visiting her grandma for the first time by herself, and a 3-year-old who you might hear screaming outside with his babysitter.
Awesome. Oh, that's good. You have a babysitter for this. That's
hmm
good.
hmm
Awesome. And you're currently not working other than home, not working outside of the home, right? You've
Exactly.
already met.
I did part-time for a while and then just some changes at work and COVID stuff and changes at my husband's work in December. I just felt like it was finally time to be brave and stop the part-time and do what I really wanted to do, which is just be home fully, at least for now. So I've been doing that for a few months and haven't thought twice about it.
Oh, beautiful. I'm so glad. What a great decision. And I know that decision was hard to make. You had to really do a lot of aligning with what you wanted and trusting and letting go. So excited for you that you're
Thank you.
living that outcome now. Fantastic. And it's funny how sometimes like we have to, there are a lot of barriers to doing the things we want. And a part of Awakened Motherhood, we see that all the time, people changing up their careers or the place they work, the way they work. And so happy that you got to enjoy that outcome. Yay, we've got some people joining us now. I'm so excited. I think these are some of your friends who are joining. So friends of Amy, thanks for being here. AM friends of Amy. What we're going to do is dive in. Can you guys hear us? Okay, I think so, because there's a comment from somebody. If you guys click the like consent for StreamYard to show us your Facebook name, then we can tell who you are, and that's fun too. I'm just going to see if I see us on. My phone's not really. Oh, there we are. Okay, I think we're on. We're good. So let's start, Amy, with share with us where you were before, like what was going on for you that had you reaching out, and just give us a little picture of like what was the struggle in a raw and honest way. Just what was, what had you stuck, and we'll start there.
Um, well, I think probably the place I felt the most stuck was really in my marriage. I just kind of really felt like I couldn't see a way to have what I wanted really in the marriage that I had. And it kind of really started to seep into other parts of my life, how I was being a mother to my kids and showing up for them. Um, in the darkest part of it, there were days that I just felt like everyone would just be better if I wasn't here, that I was doing that much damage just by being me, and carrying all the baggage that really I was carrying, I think, from my own childhood. So that's really kind of what led me to AM several years ago, actually, is kind of when I first discovered AM on Facebook. And I remember finding your video, and it took literally all weekend to watch it. Like I kept getting stopped with the kids and stopped with this or that. And finally, perseverance, like 4 days later, I finally finished it. And I think that's when I booked my first clarity call with you, because I just really felt like I didn't want this anymore, but I didn't know how to not have those feelings anymore.
Mm-hmm. Just so much respect for that share, because I talk to women every week who are right there. They're right there. I talked to someone just a few days ago, right there, and really kind of sort of daydreaming, just it's more like daydreaming. I mean, it's um a lot of the moms like you will say, I wouldn't do it because I know my kids need me. But the feeling, the weight of the heaviness of my kids would be better off without me. I'm doing so much damage that you're daydreaming about not being here is so intensely heavy and suffocating as well
Mhm.
that I just really want to slow down and acknowledge how paralyzing it can be in a place like that. For all the women who tap in and hear you say that today, um, these are the things that nobody names, and I really want to just give you deep respect for naming that and saying this is where I was there and I'm not here now, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But if you could share, I think it will really provide a great healing for others to know that they're not alone in that, but also to know that there is hope and that you didn't have to stay there. um, will you share a little bit more about, you were in that place, and I remember that first conversation. It was like 2 houses ago for me. I've moved twice since then because I remember where I was when we had that conversation, and how much I just loved you then and really wanted to be able to help you. But there was a block then. Do you want to say something about that?
There was, even though that clarity call that I had with you, it was profound. Like it really profoundly impacted me. I just felt just, I don't know, there's just so much love that came through. Um, but moving forward, like truly moving forward with it, I did feel blocked. I felt like there's got to be another way. Like, have I really done everything? Like here, like something, have you seen every counselor? Have I read every book? 'Cause that's what we were doing. We were doing individual counseling and marriage counseling. And I'm reading every book under the sun, parenting books, marriage books. Someone's going to have the answer. So I think I was just scared for a number of different reasons. And so I went away for 2 years and kept doing those things.
Yeah,
And
with a new therapist, I think you did, and so
yeah,
that
I did a couple new therapists, as did my husband. And, I remember sitting on the couch one day with my husband, and I was just like, nothing is working. Like, I just know there's got to be something out there. And all for 2 years, like you were just in the back of my mind. I was just like saying to him, I just need her. Like I just need that in my life. And nothing I've had in the past 2 years has gotten me anywhere close to that. And finally there was just this, well, why aren't you doing that? And I was like, I don't know. Why am I not doing that? And so I think that's when I reached out to you. It was like an aha moment, like you can have that. Like we will figure out how you can get that if that's what you need. I was like, that is what I need. Like I can keep playing, I can keep doing this and thinking something else is going to work for me when I truly feel in my heart that what I need is awakened motherhood.
Mhm.
And so I think the next day we got on the phone, or within a couple of days we were on the phone, and luckily there was space and openness, and there I was.
Yeah. Yes. You did it. You did it. You stepped in. I mean, I remember I reached out to you a few times over those years too, and I just felt this. I was praying for you, and I just felt such a. I knew that you needed to be in Awakened Motherhood because of what it would give you and what it would, how it would change your life. Um, but and sometimes I would reach out to you and sort of not hear back from you, and I was actually worried. I was
I
I was,
know.
I was really worried about you, but that's a part of my, that's my contract with God, is just to like release, to trust whoever needs help will come and will be here, and we'll get exactly what they need. So I was really happy when you chose when you chose your healing. So will you just say something about where you are now? Like what changed for you, and
Everything. Truly. It
every
sounds like cliche, but it really, truly, everything has changed for me. Um, I think AM gave me the tools that I need. It also gave me an opportunity, just your guidance to kind of go through those things that were kind of always stuck in my head or stuck in my heart, and gave me an opportunity to kind of let those things out and learn how to let those things flow. And since then, honestly, like my marriage is finally at what I would say a net positive. Like we had only ever got to like even maybe.
yeah.
But it's finally positive. And I'm not afraid of continuing to evolve as a person or in my marriage. Like I don't feel like it has to be this right now. It's just I feel very we are where we need to be right now. And just so many of these things that I've acquired in AM help me every day. You know, sometimes I continue to get stuck, but I don't get stuck deep down and I don't get stuck for very long. Those things come back up and it's like, oh, yeah, you know what to do to flip this around. Or, you know,
Mhm.
usually it's, I need to give myself a lot of self love, which I had no idea how to do before AM at all. I couldn't even tap into what I felt like.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
now I can. I know when I'm not doing it. Um, and that's a huge thing for me, I think.
It's so big. There are so many great gems in what you said. One of the key pieces to add, just for people listening, is that you. Here goes my light is going wacky. Let me see if I can turn that down. Okay. One of the important pieces of that is I didn't know how to love myself before. I mean, there are a lot of other people who feel that way. I just didn't know what that felt like to receive love, and it's for good reason. It wasn't because you didn't, it wasn't for lack of trying, it wasn't for lack of studying it, it wasn't for, but you just hadn't had the experience that gave you that deep knowing and living it. And you really got that in awakened motherhood and through our work, and you got, because part of what we teach, how to give that to yourself, how to really receive it. And it isn't as simple as knowing how. It is, you got to create the inner constructs to be
Um,
able to line up with that. And I love the way you just described, like, to let things flow. There was so much stuck inside and so many barriers to love. You've really had to let some things flow out so that you could fill back up with something much more compassionate and understanding and all those things. Say something about how it's changed, like who you are in as a mom. You spend a lot of time with your kids now, as you did before, but you were working and spending time with your kids before. How has it impacted the way that you connect with them or relate with them, your inner work?
um, I think noticeably and definitely tangibly. Before I would get this feeling like they're taking so much of me that I almost had to like protect that. Like I don't. It's kind of hard to explain, but like when they were having big emotions or you know they didn't want to go to bed, that really triggered me because I felt like I'm not getting what I need.
Mhm.
And through AM, I really was able to learn how to give myself what I need. And that has enabled me to just really be there for them in their time of need and
Mhm.
know that I have taken care of myself. I start every morning now taking care of myself so that I can help fill their buckets because mine is full. And it's just amazing. Like, I feel like their light shining brighter. They're just way more comfortable in our home than I think they were before. You know, they don't have to worry that something's going to upset mommy. It's just really easy. And I didn't think it was going to be easy, even after AM. But, you know, everything just kind of continued to go and flow. And it really does feel easy now.
Oh, that's so delicious. And because people kind of can't wrap their heads around that, like you said, like I didn't think it was going to get easier. Like, I heard what Honor said, I watched the interviews, but I just couldn't really believe it would happen to me, because
Right.
right, I'm used to things being hard. Right,
Mhm.
I'm used to feeling like they pull energy from me. It's a big thing when you're sensitive, and a lot of women who reach out to me are highly sensitive and don't know it. All they know is like, they drain me, they suck the life out of me. And one of the things that we teach is how to be just a master of your own energy, how to stay full, how to tap into fulfillment and stay there. Not that they don't get you, sometimes they get you, but most of all, how to supply your own need like that. So
Um,
I'm curious what you've seen in them as you are kind of the master of your own energy. Have you seen them calming down? That's usually a big thing we see. Have you seen
mhm.
any of their anxiety dropping or fighting, or what changes have you seen?
For sure. I feel like definitely my son was like a walking nerve. before, meltdown after meltdown. This is my
Mhm. Oh,
7-year-old. He would have been
mhm,
6 when I first started, but
mhm.
he just is, he's able, he still gets upset, but he does not melt down the way he used to. We talk a lot about feelings here, and we talk a lot about, protecting our own energies and not, giving away your power to your brother and sister. And they
Ah,
just all, they're kids and they're siblings. They're going to have their tussles, but they're very free to just have their emotion. And I try to let them have it, and then they just pick up and move on. And my youngest, he probably is benefiting the most. Like he has the highest EQ out of everyone in our house, I think.
yeah, you got to him early. He's absorbing it all.
Exactly. He's very much that, able to just kind of calm himself. He recognizes his self-awareness. He recognizes when he's getting upset, and he can just be like, I just am upset right now, kind of. And those are just things that I feel like are natural
Yes.
things that came out of
Yes.
my work in AM.
Yes, you didn't have to take it on like a project and read every book about it. I mean, that's the shift. And for everybody to really get that, like your change came from the inside out, like everybody else's who comes through Awaken Motherhood. There's an internal reorganization that happens, and then what happens in the family is a reorganization,
Mhm.
order, harmony that comes as a result. Um,
And I will say this, being the researcher that I am and reading all those books and researching lots of articles and what have you, there were just so many times that I was like, okay, this makes sense rationally, but I don't know how to really do this or really be this, And I don't read books like that anymore. Like, I don't feel like I need to, because I feel like I feel very comfortable that I can provide what I need to for them.
yeah.
And so that was a big shift. Like, it all just kind of, it was like a puzzle. It all just kind of connected, without really trying to force it, kind of thing.
I love that so much. It's such a big distinction, because your researcher self is also probably the part of you that like just wanted to know everything or wanted to kind of like figure it out on your own, that passed on Awakened Motherhood the first time around. I think it's like it right. It's like it's that like I can figure it out on my own. So many women are there. I
Mhm.
can figure it out on my own. I don't need and it was a shift into it's a different energy to like receive someone else's support and help, and that's so yeah, that's just so
Yeah.
big, and so it's such a it's everything, it allowed everything that came after that. So I love it that you I love it that it's a different type of learning, isn't it? It's
It
different
is,
from kind of reading and yeah,
for sure.
figuring out. We're really deepening the trust intuitively, and
Mhm.
learning the self, learning what you need and how to navigate your kids in particular.
Yeah.
Um, so what else? Let me see what else was I going to ask you. Um, hang on, let me check over and see if I had other ideas. Um, okay. Tell me, what have we kind of covered the earlier question of sort of like on readiness. Tell me anything that I haven't asked you. What more do you want to share or can you share about sort of to the moms or to the, to the community, to anybody who might really be struggling? Is there anything that you'd care to share with them?
Really just encouraging people that if you're feeling scared to take that step, or if you don't feel like you have a way to work through your struggles and know how to get through them, I just can't say enough amazing things about the work you're doing in Awakened Motherhood, because it's just not something you're going to find in a book or you're going to find with a therapist necessarily. It's just really, really like soul searching work, I think, and not in a scary way. You're just the way you guide us through the process. Um, and I feel like I'm easy to be a critic and skeptical back then, and I was won over. It just the way it changed my life and changed my perspective and attitude. I tried to think that I was a very positive person, and through AM, I realized that I'm positive, but my loop is negative. Like
Yeah.
there's just a lot of negative loop stuff happening in there. And I work every day to rewire that into a more positive way. And I just don't feel like I would be doing all of that without AM. And it's
Yeah.
just every day I feel the impact of it. So just really encouraging people, just if you when you feel like you just need something and you're not finding it,
Mhm.
it just probably is you. It's probably AM.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that share, and I appreciate because I know that a lot of the people who do reach out have said, I've been in the group for a long time, and I've had that feeling like, maybe you could help me, but I wasn't sure. So I just appreciate your experience, and it's not for everybody. Like
Yeah.
you are somebody who is really committed. Once you decide something, you're going to make it happen. You showed up to everything. You really did the work. You chose to trust and to let me in. These are all like, to everyone who's listening, these are all important precursors to being able to step into your power and to make use of the teaching and coaching, which Amy did brilliantly. So just so thankful for you to share that your inspired story to everyone else who listens, and to everybody who tunes back in and to the replay. I just ask that you would show Amy your love and support by commenting. Tell us how this maybe helped you, what inspired you, as well as ask that and ask any questions on the thread here in Facebook down below us. But I ask that you respect Amy's privacy and not reach out to her through Messenger or any other channels. Just respect her let her be in her joy, and in the privacy of her life. But feel free to ask questions in the thread here. So. Um, yeah, I just want to thank everybody who's joining us. I posted a call booking link. This is exactly how Amy found her path to so much lightness and freedom from the past and from really struggling emotionally. She's changing the negative tape loops, and she knows how to do it now and doesn't need me in her ear every day. She's able to do it herself, which is beautiful that you can fly and do that on your own now. And so yeah, I just want to extend an invite and say, just kind of picking up on everything Amy said, really encourage you, if you want to reach out and find out what kind of change is possible for you and you want shifts like Amy's, then just reach out. We'll find out. Reach out for a clarity call, and I'm happy to connect with you all the way I did with her a couple times even. So
Yeah.
much love to you, Amy. Big,
Thank
big
you.
love and
Thank you
and
for the
hugs and
connect.
appreciations. You guys give her hearts and love and comments and encourage her. Thanks all the alumni who are on here supporting.
Yeah.
And yeah, and that's it for us today. We'll see you again soon.